When traveling to Italy, one landmark nobody wants to miss out on visiting is the biggest fountain of Rome, going by the name of Trevi Fountain. Even if you haven't had the chance to admire this sky blue water-filled glorious fountain, you're bound to have heard of its long history, traditions, myths, and beautiful architecture before. If not, no need to worry. We will take you on a journey and tell you all you need to know about this fascinating piece of art. Before we start, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. And now, let's start. How did the fountain get its name? There are numerous fountains all over Italy, yet Trevi still stands out. However, it was not always the beautiful landmark that it is today, the one that is unmistakably first on every must-see list. Before becoming Trevi Fountain, it was known as Aqua Virgo, which translates to the Virgin's Water. It was an aqueduct that acted as one of the main sources of clean water in Rome in 19 BC. Legend has it that a young lady found this natural water and led thirsty soldiers to it. This is when the Emperor Caesar Augustus decided to create the aqueduct, a water supply for all of Rome. This is the only aqueduct from the ancient Roman times that has not yet been destroyed and can still fully function nowadays. In 537, Aqua Virgo was the only aqueduct that survived the attack of the Germanic tribes, the Ostrogoths, who destroyed nearly every source of water, but fortunately not the virgin waters, making it the one and only source of clean drinking water for the Romans. After this, it went through many restorations, but after 400 years of functioning, it was completely ruined before it was restored again in the 15th century, during which time Pope Nicholas V ensured to keep a fountain at the end of the aqueduct, yet it was deemed unnecessary by Pope Urban VIII. Later on, Bernini, a Baroque-style Italian architect, was the first one to be offered the job to build the Trevi Fountain, but in spite of his enthusiasm and innovative ideas, the plan fell through due to lack of funds. However, his style depicted on other works around Italy show that his ideas and technique have inspired the following architect to design the Fountain of Trevi. When the Trevi Fountain was created? Let's go back to the 18th century when this beautiful fountain was built as we know it today. It was the year of 1762 when an Italian architect, Nicola Salvi, entered a competition held by Pope Clement XII, choosing the best architect to build the Trevi Fountain. Salvi's idea was liked by many, so he proceeded to build it. Unfortunately, he passed away with bronchial problems at the age of 53 and never got to see the finished version of his creation. However, the project was not cancelled. An Italian architect, Giuseppe Panini, stepped in to take charge and finalized the fountain as we know it today. Regardless, it took 11 years after the death of Nicola Salvi to see water flow through the fountain. It was officially opened in 1743, taking 3 whole decades to complete. Why is it made from the same material as the Colosseum? It is known that the fountain is built using a semi-marble stone called travertine, the same material that the Colosseum was built with, and many other architectural landmarks in the city. There are supposedly large amounts of this poor stone available near Rome, which is why the Romans have used it so much over the years. However, this marble white color is not the only shade Trevi has been seen in. In honor of the great Italian actor Marcello Mastroianni's death in 1996, the fountain was turned off and covered with a black drape as a tribute to the amazing work he produced and the iconic scene in the movie La Dolce Vita, where he takes a dip in the pool of Trevi with his co-star. Another time when Trevi did not have clear blue water was in the year of 2017, when a vandal poured bright red dye in the pool, causing tourists to gasp and panic as the water turned completely red, potentially damaging the fountain forever. But fortunately, the fountain was drained and the pool was scrubbed and cleaned quickly enough to save it. Another little fun fact is that the Trevi fountain has been used as a fashion show location by Fendi, the Italian luxury fashion house. They organized a truly sensational show for their 90th anniversary in 2016. Now, you might be wondering who was Trevi or what was Trevi. Basically, how did this fountain get the name it is known for today? Well, it might come as a surprise that the meaning behind it came directly from its location. When you visit Trevi, you will find that it is located at a junction of three streets: De Crocici Street, Poli Street, and Delle Murate Street. Trivium is Latin for intersection, specifically of three roads, and Trevie is Italian for three streets. Therefore, the name of this fountain, Trevi. Tradition of coin. If you have visited the Trevi fountain before, that means you have also stood with your back against it, rummaged through your pockets to find a coin, and stood there with your eyes closed, holding on tight to our money with our right hand, of course, wishing to be back in Rome sometime soon, and then you toss it with all you've got over your left shoulder. You might also want to throw another one just for the fun of it, or to ensure your wish of coming back to Rome will definitely come true. But throwing a second coin is thought to mean you will find love, but specifically true Italian love with a native. And if you get even more excited and want to throw a third coin, you might even have to start planning your wedding, because yes, you will be marrying that sad Italian lover. We have all been there, but why do we do it? Where does this tradition come from? Who was the first person to come up with this fun idea? You would think it was an Italian or a native Roman, but no, it was a German. Yes, a German man called Wolfgang Helbig, who was an archaeologist who had a permanent job at the German Archaeological Institute in Rome. During his Italian adventures, he married Nadezhda Shakovskaya, a Russian princess, who would then introduce him to a higher class society with whom he would attend and hold many gatherings. This is exactly where he started tossing coins in the Trevi fountain, as a nod to the religious traditions of people offering their sacrifices to their gods who lived in streams. Friends of Wolfgang spread the word and started joining in on the ritual of tossing coins. Soon, the whole of Europe would join in too. You might be wondering, what happens to the coins all these tourists throw in the water? Is it automatically public property? Do people steal it? Yes, people did used to steal it, but after an incident in 2011, it has become a crime to fish out coins out of the Trevi fountain. A man going by the name of D'Artagnan had spent 34 whole years stealing coins from the pool of the fountain until he was caught on camera. Therefore, Italy enforced the new law that stealing coins from the Trevi pool is illegal. Then, where does the money go? How do the coins not pile up? To give you a little perspective, there are approximately 3,000 euros worth of coins tossed in the pool every day. That means annually, there is more than €1 million chucked at Italy, mainly by travelers. The coins get taken out of the pool at the end of each day. They are individually cleaned and counted before being given to charity. There was a word going around that Virginia Reggi, mayor of Rome, was planning on keeping the money and using it to improve infrastructure in Italy. But soon after these accusations, she made it clear that all profits would go towards a charity called Caritas Roma that helped the homeless and the poor. So, next time you're tossing a coin in the Trevi pool, you can be sure that you're helping the ones in need with shelter and food. Which are the names and meanings of the three main statues? Now, onto the architecture and story Trevi tells. The fountain consists of three main statues: Oceanus, commonly mistaken for Neptune, abundance, and health. Let's start from the left when facing the fountain. We see abundance, a lady holding a basket full of fruit in her right hand. In the center, you can see Oceanus, the god of all waters. Neptune is god of salt waters. He is depicted standing on a carriage which is being carried by horses guided by Tritons, sea gods. It is clear that one of the horses is calm and steady, while the other is in completely different state, maybe anxious and infuriated. This is thought to reflect the moods and the duality of water, how it can be incredibly quiet and still, but also have the capability to be the strongest element. And finally, health is represented by the statue on the right, a depiction of a woman wearing a wreath crown allowing a snake to drink some water out of her cup. All over, the story depicted through these three statues and other slightly smaller statues that are installed above, such as Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa, the story of the Virgin, abundance of fruit, wheat, the fall harvest and flowers, is that it celebrates water and its health and abundance. If you haven't planned your holidays yet, or you can't travel to Italy right now, we recommend watching one or all these movies where the Trevi Fountain appears. They are classics that will help you travel through these streets of sunny Rome from the comfort of your own home. Trevi appears in The Roman Holiday, a 1953 movie starring Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck. They travel around Rome, visiting landmarks such as the Spanish Steps, Mouth of Verita, and many more. You might also want to watch the 1950s romantic comedy Three Coins in the Fountain to find out more about the myths and traditions of tossing a coin in the pool. Or maybe the classic Italian Federico Fellini film La Dolce Vita, The Sweet Life. We know the clear blue water on a hot summer's day is incredibly tempting, but we recommend not to recreate the famous scene from Fellini's film where Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg cool down in the pool of the fountain, because you will get fined. That's all the facts and myths for you about the elegant Trevi Fountain. If you haven't visited it before, we hope you get the chance to toss a coin or two or three and ensure many Roman adventures for yourself and your native Italian spouse. Let us know what you think down below. Also, make sure to check out our other videos to learn about Italy's culture and history. Thank you for watching.